what's going on. You know what's going down. You know what's going down. All right.
Every time, man.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans. Damn it. I'm your host, JT, and beside me is my partner in crime and fun, Lee. And tonight, our special guest coming from downtown, uptown. I like calling it downtown, but people call it uptown. Straight up in the center of Charlotte, walking distance to a Bank of America Stadium is Logan from the Crown Cast. Thank you for coming on, sir.
Hey, thank you for having me. And it's absolutely true. I don't know when they changed it to Uptown as a relatively recent transplant to Charlotte. Like, I just walked in and someone was like, "Oh no, that's Uptown now," and I was like,
"Well, that's because there's less letters in the word Uptown than downtown. So when they're making those signs, it's less money for them to make."
Please tell me that's the reason. Please tell me that's the actual reason.
It was all marketing, man. It was all marketing for sure.
I have no idea. I have no idea, man.
No, we gotta be special. We got an Uptown.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I guess it's literally north of the. I don't know who. Why are we talking about this? I can't even right now. I can't even.
You can't even right now. I mean, we got better things to talk about, right? This is Charlotte Fan TV.
That's right. That's right. So what are we talking about tonight, Lee?
Well, the first thing we're going to talk about is the shipping department and how we love the shipping department on this show and how wonderful Morgan is to us. And then the other thing that was kind of upset me is Heidi wasn't watching the intro, and she's in it. So
no, what?
That's it, man. That's it.
Around, like a 4-minute mark or 3 minutes.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, tonight we're going to talk about the Crew game. We'll talk about the Montreal game. We'll talk about whatever we want to talk about, and then we have the Bronico Giveaway tonight from our friend Adam. And so, in order to win tonight, this is the picture of Bronico, by the way. Just put in hashtag Bronico into the chat, and you'll be automatically entered.
I'm gonna jump in here if you're okay with it, because Brent Bronico is the man of the hour, and I'm gonna shout out the Crowncast for those of you who haven't had the chance to hear me on the Crowncast. I do run one of the podcasts for Charlotte FC, completely fan run, but we got the chance to bring Brent Bronico on and chat with us. And we got all of his dirty secrets. We dragged them out of him kicking and screaming. If you haven't gotten the chance to hear that interview, please go check it out. It's a lot of fun. But he also signed one of his BB13 bags, one of his drawstring bags, for us to do a giveaway. So if you're interested in possibly getting a BB13 signed in gold drawstring bag, go check out the Crowncast on Instagram, and you can find out there how to enter to win that one. So Brent Bronico and the giveaways all over tonight, right?
Yep. Well, it's his birthday week, so
like he's in the midfield. He's all over the place.
I mean, he's the only one there, so he's got to be all over the place.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I guess we could segue straight into the Columbus game, man. I mean, it was a 1-1. I still don't know how I feel about that game, but Logan, we'll let you kick it off, man. What did you think about the game? What's your takeaways and that sort of thing?
So one of the benefits of I don't want to say working in this industry, but we're the super fans, right? Like, we're the ones, we live, we eat, we breathe this stuff. And one of the benefits is, as you write about it and you think about it, you get to sort of pin down what your ideas are. And kind of like you said, Lee, this is a little bit of a tough one, because I feel like I go back and forth. I go, were we not aggressive enough? Were we too aggressive? Did we leave holes in our back line to be exploited? And I went back to when I was watching the game, the first thing I texted my buddy was, it looks like Columbus Crew has scouted us. They understand where the space is, and this is going to be a really good test of Anton Walks and Guzman Corujo as that pair in the back.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was really what we saw. And for the most part, I really think they passed the test. I mean, I felt like that was one of the first away games we went out there to go win it, not to go be in it. Yeah. And oddly for myself, despite the fact that we have so much to talk about going forward, I feel like the hidden gem of the game is how well the defense did, despite not having that extra protection in a game that we went out there to try and go win.
Yeah, I mean, we had the one blooper right by Kalina. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think Walks played a solid game. I think that was the pass to make. I think he made the right decision. Kalina, I think, to me, it's like he almost got stuck in two thoughts, right? One basically to clear the ball, and the other one is to kind of play it short, and he just put that heavy touch on it. So, you know, I don't know. I'm still torn. Like a 1-1 is a good result. I would have taken it before the game. Especially since we're on the road. But you know, some of those subs, in my opinion, I think we could have come out more attacking with subs. But anyways, JT, what do you think, man?
Well, it's funny you were saying that thing about Kalina, because you could tell as soon as he made the bad pass, his brain knew it. You know, it wasn't like he kicked it and he's like, oh no. It was like he kicked it and he's like, oh shit, I didn't put enough on it or whatever. Being the newer fan, you know, and a lot of soccer fans or people who aren't soccer fans will give shit to the whole tie, you know, the 1-1 draw and everything. I still thought it was very entertaining. I definitely thought we should have won for sure. And to Logan's point, I thought the defense, and with Gaines being out there, and Crujo has always been out there and he's been so great, but I really love to see him out there. But I agree with your point too, Lee. You know, and I remember saying when we were watching it, the whole it's like, why were the subs coming in so late? It's like it just feels like it was not too little, but whatever, just too late of subs. And I felt like there were some missed opportunities there for sure. And I feel like the last two games, you know, it's just like, oh God, it's been so close. And I mean, it's a game of inches, I understand, but I really thought we should have won that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're celebrating mediocrity, in my opinion. I think this game is just tough for me to say if I'm happy with it or not. I mean, I feel like after we came out the second half and we scored to equalize, we should have kept pushing on them, man. But for some reason, we just kind of stepped back and, you know, we basically played for the draw at the end of the day. What do you think, Logan?
Yeah, we definitely played for the draw at the end. I don't think that anybody can deny that. If I can, one sort of step back onto Christian Kalina is something that I feel is, for me, important to sort of put in reference. That mistake from him was that Christian Kalina is very clearly learning how to become a modern keeper. You know, I think no one will fight anyone in saying he's a great shot stopper. He is incredibly good reactionary. He closes down play well. He does all of that stuff really, really well. And he's learning how to play with his feet, right? That's his next task. And we were always going to suffer a couple of bad hits from him having to learn this skill at the top level. And I said earlier that I kind of expected we would have 3 or 4 of these this year, where Christian Kalina tried to pick up this skill, and it ended up costing us a goal. And right now, this is number 2. Obviously, he had the other bad one earlier in the year, but
it's Billy.
But it doesn't scare me at all so far. Yeah, it's an interesting game, and you know, maybe a good question I can ask you guys, because I haven't been able to pin it down, is that final chance in extra time. You know, Andre Shinyashinki gets that moment. Is that, you know, what do you think are the odds on that going away? Should that have gone in the back of the net?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think sometimes the problem is that we just shoot straight at the keepers instead of going across them or trying to place it in the corner or whatnot, right? I think that final need to be clinical is a little off. I mean, we've seen it in plenty of games. I mean, hell, Andre missed one last week when we were at home. I mean, him and Rios, right? I mean, it could have been much worse. But, you know, to Jeremy's point here, I mean, it is good to get points on the road. You know, we kind of touched base on this last night when we were talking with Vaughn and co over at Top End Show. But, you know, right now it's in our hands, right? I mean, if we can go maybe snag a point against Montreal, which apparently are losing like 3-0 now, I believe.
Really?
Then,
Toronto?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you know, we come home and play Austin. I think Austin's there for the taking for sure. It's just, you know, I kind of agree with everything here, right? I think we should have been more aggressive with the subs. I mean, you know, Gaines, I don't really remember him being too much involved in the game as he was when we were at home. So, yeah. Go ahead, JT. You look like you got something to say.
I was just thinking, you know, going back to Kalina and everything too, and I made the point when we were watching is, when a keeper makes a bad pass, it can go really bad really quick, and that could be the game, Whereas if Bronico or anyone else makes a bad pass, and maybe it's just because I played keeper in high school, it's like, bad pass and it's forgiven, it's whatever, it's no big deal. But in the keeper's world, in the foot play and everything, like Logan was saying, one bad pass and that could be the whole game.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing with being a keeper too, right? I mean, you screw up, it's more noticeable, and unlike somebody in midfield where they kind of give the ball away and there's a chance we can get it back, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what would we have done different? I don't know, Logan, go ahead.
I mean, one thing I'm going to start out by saying is, first off, JT, we're going to be friends. I was also a keeper in high school. And I have that same mentality, right? And it's funny how differently you look at the game when you know that position a little better than some of the others. But I mean, what I'd have done differently, people have harped on it all. I don't want to say since the game ended, but you're right. The subs were, I'm going to call them questionable. I've got a lot of, I think maybe we're seeing Latanzio go from being an assistant to being a manager. And they're just like we're expecting learning curve out of Christian Kalina. We have to expect learning curve out of Latanzio. This is a guy who got thrown in. He has never been a full manager before, to my understanding. He's only been an assistant. Subs are one of the things we see people have to adjust to. But at 75 minutes, that team looked gassed. To your point with Mackenzie Gaines up the right flank, Mackenzie Gaines has some of the most lightning speed in the game. It's really special to watch. I think he struggles to then transition that to dangerous attack. He gets that speed, he gets that position, and then getting the ball back to the next phase of play can be challenging. I think Harrison Awful on that wing as well. By 75 minutes, he'd run his legs off. And, as everybody knows, he's not a young man.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so easy to just say, hey, earlier subs. But Jalen Lindsay's sitting there on the bench, and we all know that guy will run his heart out for the club, right?
Yeah, that was kind of, I remember thinking that. It's like, they're finally getting Lindsay going. And
and Heidi, no, we've already discussed this, Heidi, damn it. We're calling him the gaffer. We are calling him the gaffer.
The gaffer is, okay.
Yeah, that's his name. But anyways, I mean, the subs that were made were pretty much in line with what on the gaffer's first home game, right? I mean, the same players sort of came in and they were actually a part of the second goal, right? And so it was interesting to see the same starting 11. I mean, also with that being said, right, we still got Vargas to come in, we got Carroll to come in, we got Jaws to come in, so we were playing a team that, I mean, we wasn't even using our DPs, right? And so, it'll be interesting to see this week's lineup for sure. I mean, you would think Carroll gets the nod. Does Vargas come in? Does Jaws come in? I don't know, right? I mean, I think Andre should at least start. The question is who's that third player up top, right? Is it Vargas or Jaws?
I mean, if I can weigh in here, I'll be honest. I got a question for you. Does Karol Swiderski come in and get his spot back immediately? I mean, one of the things that not to cause trouble here, but one of the things that we've talked about is Karol Swiderski was on a slower streak before he left for international duty. He wasn't able to find the back of the net. For lack of a better statement, the book was kind of out, but if you roughed him up a little bit, he didn't have time for that extra touch. He wants to get it to his left foot.
With that being said, though, I just don't think he was getting the service that he needed, right? And he seemed to be playing a lot deeper, that's for sure. So yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Crowns here with his points with Shiki, Swiderski, and Jaws up front.
Well, I think with Swiderski too, he was definitely not nearly as hot as he was at the beginning of the season. But now that Lat, the gaffer, is I'm going to play neutral, everybody. I'm just going to call him Lat, the gaffer.
Yeah.
Now that he has a chance, because I remember, that's one thing I had noticed, just how unhappy he seemed on the pitch. And it was like, is he pissed off at the player for not delivering the ball to him? But you would see him literally, put his hands on like, what why didn't I get the ball there or whatever? And, a lot of the assumption was he was one of the main, like the hell with Miguel in the system and all this kind of stuff. So at the very least, I want to see him back in the starting lineup in with the Gaffer's, what his decision making and see what happens. And if he continues to be slow or has the slower, not scoring as much, and he continues to seem like he's pissed off on the field, the ball's not coming his way, then maybe we try some different lineups and stuff like that. But I want to see him as he was in the Mars system now with the Gaffer.
Yeah, and to answer this question, not that question, but you had asked another one, the OFL podcast. International break's over with now, I believe, and everybody should be back. So, it was just a matter of them just landing and not being, I guess, game fit or had any practice with Charlotte at least. So, again, I think Carroll should start, and I'm going to live and die by that, man. So,
yeah,
we can go ahead.
I'll jump across it. I do think Carroll should start. I'm not going to stand here and say I think Rios should be the one on the starting team sheet, but I think that the fact that the team has operated with a relatively fluid attack twice in a row means that maybe people are starting to think Carroll's not the only one who can get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, I think Carroll's, I think what had happened is some of those teams had kind of caught on to Carroll's play and we didn't really have anybody else banging them in, right? So, and then obviously Andre came along and scored now. So it kind of takes some of that pressure off of Carroll, maybe opens him up a little bit or vice versa, right? I mean, I think Rios is definitely going to get dropped to the bench. And, it's just going to be interesting, man. But, go ahead.
I just don't think you can underestimate the power that Andre Shinyashinki comes off the wing. I mean, if you want to talk about buying space, if you want to talk about buying time, if you want to talk about, drawing away defenders, Andre is consistently drawing one, sometimes two defenders away to his space. And every now and then he's beating them. So, one thing that we can absolutely say is that with him in the side, we have to expect Carroll's going to get free more often.
Yeah.
If he wants it, the space will be there.
I think Jaws will probably get the nod, in my opinion, too. I agree again with Crowns. I think, because he'll take on the player and he'll definitely go as well. So, it's going to be interesting. And then obviously the Polish combining up front, right? They kind of know how each other plays already. So I don't know, man. With 16 games in the season, I guess this Saturday is going to be a halfway mark, right? I think was it 34 games, if I'm not mistaken, in the season. And
something like that.
And I think, to be honest with you, Charlotte has one of the best current streaks going on. I think we have like 13 points total out of the last so many games. And it's just going to, it's interesting. I mean, Montreal's got some crucial injuries too. They're playing tonight, I mean, I guess the only saving grace for them is that it's, they're going to be playing at home, so the travel won't be so bad. So what do you think, Logan, about the upcoming game, man? What do you see happening or not happening?
I'll be really honest with you. Again, because I was a keeper, I tend to think of the field as it's the manager's job to make the 2/3 by your goal solid, and then it's the player's job to do the stuff in front of the opponent's goal. I think we're probably going to see Christian Fuchs reintroduced, and I'm not sure where Anton Walks is going to end up in that situation, whether we're going to go to a 3, whether we're going to stick to what we see, and maybe Joseph Mora comes out of the side. But I have this sort of just feeling, right? I can't call it anything other than that the technical ability of Christian Fuchs coming back in this side that's been given the freedom to turn and go to the net. Bender's been given the freedom. Ortiz has been given the freedom. Heck, Brant Bronico has been given the freedom to really turn quick and go. I think having people who are willing to run and the freedom to go after it, whether we see Christian Fuchs delivering those balls from center back or whether maybe he comes in for Mora, I think there could be real attacking fireworks and some really smooth play against a not hobbled, but slightly less than full power Montreal. And I have the feeling it's either going to go really, really, really well, or we're going to look like fools a couple times trying some new things.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to David real quick for joining us while he's on the date. I mean, if she was a keeper, man, she'd be watching along with you. So, shout out to David's date Good luck, buddy. I hope it goes.
Good luck, bud.
Good luck, dude.
So, and to Greg, I mean, I'm not saying Dre doesn't start. I'm just saying Carroll goes up top, and I think it's Dre, and if we call him Dre now, and Jaws on the wings, in my opinion. So
yeah. Carroll in the middle and Dre and Jaws.
But yeah, Montreal's got some injuries. I mean, she's watching with. That's what's up, David.
Hey,
You know, that's date number 2 coming up next week. Next Saturday when we do our live show.
David's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, we love David,
You
man.
are lucky to be on this date with him. He is awesome.
Sure. Yeah. You owe us $20, Dave. And yeah, but yeah, I mean, they got some key injuries, right? I mean, I was going to screw his name up, but anyways, right? Mihailovic, right, is out for like 4 more weeks. I mean, he's a pretty big player for Montreal. Yeah, and like Morgan says, you know, families that watch together stay together.
Where's Montreal on the table? Right? Where's Montreal on the table?
Montreal right now are 5th. They are 5th in the table, and we are 7th, and they've played 1 less game than us. But they were also, you know, since they played us also, though, man, I think they've lost 1, 2, like 4 games, right? They lost to Austin last week, and I think they were down to 10 men. Austin were. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see, man. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. And if you guys just joined the show, if you put hashtag Bronico in the chat, you'll be entered in the drawing for our giveaway. And if you're new to the show, hit the sub button, please. So with that being said, man, you know, there's been a lot. I think Charlotte's is in a good spot, man. And I think we may go up there. I don't want to say that we're going to get all 3 points, but I feel confident enough saying that we're going to get at least 1 point. So with that being said, Logan, man, what do you think the score prediction would be? And you guys put the score predictions in the chat as well.
So again, I think this is going to be heavily predicated on the return of Christian Fuchs, if he's good to go, and the introduction of Kamil Jozwiak, who I think can just be a game changer in the right moment. Obviously, Karol Swiderski, we've seen play. We know if he comes into the side, what he's going to bring, and it's that deadly left foot.
Right.
I think so. My struggle here is going to be Montreal's score. I think we put 2 in the net. I think we put 2 in the net, probably with at least 1 really bad close range miss for a third.
Yeah.
And I think it's my hope. I'm going to will this into existence is 2-1. But I think we're going to go out there to score the goals. We're not going to go out there and shell up.
Right. I don't think Fuchs starts. I think Walk starts and Fuchs comes on later in the game, if at all, right? Assuming that he's healthy again. But I just don't think he starts, man. I honestly don't. I think Walks has been playing good. I think we're probably going to start seeing more of Caruso and Walks as a partnership, in my opinion.
I'll be honest. I hope so. I really like Christian Fuchs, but, you know, I was looking at the stats the other day and, you know, Guzman Corujo, who is one of my heroes now, the guy is just an insane defender.
Yeah, he's definitely becoming my favorite player.
And Anton Walks are both 25 years old. I mean, that's entering prime for a central defender, right? Center backs, that's when they're not quite at their best, but are entering their best. And if those two develop a partnership, which across all your fingers, develop a partnership and really learn how to play together with each other, we could be seeing those two in that back pairing for 7-8 years. I mean, I realize that's unlikely, but
they stick around that long.
they could be the iconic defensive duo, same age, similar skill sets, seem to now already be able to rely on each other of this club. I
mean, you saw Atlanta when we got Walks, right? I mean, Walks was a big part of the defense last year, and he played lots and lots of minutes. There's a reason why he was, you know, Atlanta was kind of pissed off when we snagged him up in the expansion draft. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. I see us like a 1-1 or a 2-2 or something like that. I don't see us getting the 3 points. And then, you know, if we can kind of come back and beat Austin, that would be legit.
Hold on. You can't be wavering like that. What's your actual prediction, man?
We got to be definitive.
Yeah. I'll go with I think 2-2. I think is what I'm going with, man. So
all right,
I'll take that. I guess that just leaves you, JT.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, I'm going to use a little help from my friend back here, who I'm now calling Little Chico. Hey, Little Chico, what do you think? What do you think? Little Chico says CLTFC 2-1.
Hey, I'm not alone.
So 2-1 to Charlotte. That's interesting. Well, we'll see. We got it on here. Yeah. So again, it'd be nice to get 3 points, but we'll see. But there was also kind of shifting gears a little bit, man. There was some news that kind of came out today, and sounds like Sergio might be on his way out of Charlotte, maybe going back to Spain on a loan at least. And I'm kind of, I don't know. It's interesting to see. I feel like he's starting to get a little more playing time under the gaffer, and it'd be interesting to see if he gets any playing time this week. If they're definitely trying to loan him out. I mean, I hate to see him go, but I think with everything, he had that mental health issue. He's got his baby, right? He had the injury. Maybe it'd be maybe it's good for both of us, right? If he can kind of come back maybe at the end of the loan again, we'll see. But it'd be interesting. What do you think, Logan?
I mean, Sergio Ruiz, I had the benefit of going to some of the practices that were open practices before the season started. Mm-hmm. And you can see the people in practice who stand out. And Sergio Ruiz stood out. I mean, like, you couldn't miss him. There's no way. He's one of those people who technically he wants to look for the pass that progresses the ball. He's one of the people who wants to look for the way the whole team builds, not just the easy thing or the thing that's going to make his stats look good. We look back at, I believe it was the New York game that he's played through well on goal. He's got a one-on-one with the keeper, and he has the presence of mind to just pick his head up, look right just for a second, and smooth and calmly just distribute that ball off to Derek Jones. He is a very high IQ player with the skill set to follow. And I'll be honest, I hope he stays. I think he has a lot to bring to this team. Obviously, I hope his mental health, et cetera, is allowing of that. I hope he doesn't stay at the cost of his mental health, et cetera.
Right. But I think we're past that stage. I think it's just probably more due playing time. I don't know if Mars had anything to do with it. Like you said, right, when he came on last week at home, who did we play at home? I can't even think of who that was. Who did we play? I'm drawing a blank. Somebody tell me in the chat who we played that last home game.
Red Bulls?
Yeah, it was the Red Bulls.
It was Red Bulls, yeah.
And it took me a second. Getting old, man. I gotta shake.
We can remember which goals were scored against which team, et cetera. But when we played them, that's the stuff that gets all.
Right. But like you said, he came on, he made that pass right to Jones, and he could have been selfish and taken the shot, but he saw that the better option was to pass, and he got it in. So it'd be interesting to see as this news keeps on developing if he goes or not.
Yeah, where's the news? I mean, where's it coming from? What's
I mean, there's sources like Twitter and that kind of thing. It's starting to get some momentum. So it's possible, but we'll see.
I mean, he was our first player. He's the first.
I know, man.
And he was
gonna have to put a statue of him and Riley McGree up as legends, right?
Oh yeah, Riley. God, never.
I was laughing. You guys both live in Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm. I live north of Charlotte, but yeah, close enough.
Okay. Are you familiar with? There's a little local bistro. And I've now lost the name of it. There's a little local place that's good, but up in their facility, they had a poster, one of the really, really early hype posters for Charlotte FC. And I was laughing because, especially under MAR, if you looked at the players across the poster, none of them were playing. It was Anton Walks. It was Sergio Ruiz. It was Pablo Iniesta in goal. It was Karol Swiderski, who was at least playing. It was just a whole bunch of people who weren't playing at all. And especially with how Anton Walks is coming to the squad, I wish that we get to see the best of Sergio Ruiz, because I think there's a really, really good player in there.
Yeah, I do too. I 100%.
I think I might have that. Hold on, I'll be right.
And so, I mean, Crowns asked the question, right? Can Ruiz and Bronico play together? I mean, I guess it just depends on how they're set up to play. It looks like we're going to stick with the 4-3-3 at least. And yes, I mean, really, it is the reality of the business. We get that. It's just, some players kind of especially being the first player ever signed by Charlotte. You know, it would be sad to see him go, but I guess at some point he'll leave anyway. So, and yeah, and agree, right? I mean, we've been told that we're going to create stars instead of against stars.
That's it. That's the one. There it is.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the promo they put out for the calendar to whatever. But you're right. I was looking at the other day because I have it up in my garage and I have some extra copies.
Yeah,
but,
and like the most highlighted players almost never played.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Carroll, though, he came in late, right? And then he had the international break and all that kind of stuff. So we're definitely going to see more of him moving forward.
Well, that's the thing too. I'm just excited saying that, you know, it's like, let's get everyone we have, and hopefully Sergio stays, and get them under the Gaffer's system at home, which will be the Austin FC on a Thursday. So it's going to be fun too. And it's Pride Night. First 10,000 people get the captain's armband with the rainbow color, so that should be fun. And I think they're doing. Now, are they having the street party? No, that's the kid one later on. But nonetheless, Thursday night, downtown, uptown, it's going to be bumping. And it's going to probably be hotter than hell still, whatever, like it was today. Good Lord. But, yeah, I can't wait. And I do want to see Swiderski, Shinashiki, and I guess Jaws in the starting, front. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, hold on. Did you say you had extra copies? Because the shipping department has an idea of maybe another giveaway.
I do, and I thought about that. If someone I have 3 extra copies of those posters because they did a media event right before the season started. It was a lunch, like a thank the media, and at that lunch they had these posters on the table, and I grabbed like 5 of them, and they also had the first game. Scarves, the inaugural game scarves there. So I got a couple of those too. But yeah, I'll give one away at some point. Not tonight, but we'll do it next time. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And Heidi, I don't think he meant that we won't play attacking and play not to lose. I think he just saw that maybe the game wasn't there for the taking, and he just decided to kind of sit back. That's my take on his comment, on the Gaffer's comment. What do you think, Logan?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game started as going to get him. Yeah. I think we went out there with the clear intention that we were going to play on our terms. I think we did a fair amount of that. I think it bit us a couple times. But unless you have all of the best players in the whole world, sooner or later somebody's going to make a slip up. And when you're that high up the field, danger comes back the other way, right? Even Manchester City occasionally gets countered.
Especially when they play Spurs, by the way, because Spurs own them. Just throwing that out there, since I take a lot of Spurs grief on this show and other shows.
You're going to take a lot of Spurs grief from me as well. And if you're not aware, I am an Arsenal fan. So
I thought we were.
It's been great. Thank you so much for having me, guys. So fun. I just realized I have a yoga class.
Just mind the gap on your way out.
No, honestly, one of the greatest things about football is, we can be absolute enemies on the other side of the pond, if you will. And we come here and we want this team to be successful and be a lot of fun to watch. So,
well, that's why a lot of us have decided we're not going to go to the Chelsea game. We're going to go to Carowinds instead.
Oh, okay.
We are not going to give Chelsea any money, even if they just get a penny a ticket. They're not getting it from me.
They're not getting it from you?
I think, Lee, we haven't even talked about it, but I think we should go downtown, but not go to the game, but then do our thing outside after the game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us have actually seriously been saying that we're just going to go to Carowinds. So just say F it, right? Just like there's nothing happening that night. I mean, I hate it for Charlotte FC, but Chelsea going to play their B squad? I don't know, especially since there's no big tournaments going on, so it'll be interesting, man. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. We could maybe go tailgate and then go to Carowinds.
Tailgate and then Carowinds. I love it.
Yeah, and so like Gilmore said, right, anybody's interested, just hit them up, right? We really are going to Carowinds, man.
No, it's funny.
So, and no, we don't want to boo Chelsea in person. I can do that from my living room or any bar any other day. I am not going to go see Chelsea play. I refuse to do it. So, yeah, see, everybody's on board. They'll see us at Carowinds, man. So, you know.
Uh,
You know, so you Chelsea fans, y'all can enjoy the Charlotte FC game versus Chelsea. You can let us know how it goes, and yeah, we're going to be screaming and yelling as we go over through the Intimidator.
I hate to be the bad guy. I will be at that game.
Yeah.
So I will. I'll make sure to give you guys a play-by-play of what actually goes on.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be Charlotte FC like 12-0 Chelsea. You know, easy
I don't
win.
know, man. Again, it really depends on who Chelsea brings over to play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely going to be the middle of their preseason for sure.
I wonder if we'll get, since it's a special game. I wonder if we'll get any like ticket sales information, or if the club's going to let all that out and stuff.
Well, I mean, to this point, I know a lot of people that don't go to the Charlotte games that are going just because Chelsea's in town. So
Right.
I mean, it's going to be I think it's going to be a wash into folks like us, or at least me, that's not going to go just because it's Chelsea. I mean, it could have been anybody but Chelsea or Arsenal, and I would have gone. So,
I know that, I don't know, about 2.5 years ago or something.
We'll give that away, Greg.
About 2.5 years ago, Arsenal came into town, and I went to that one. And I will tell you, there were a lot of people, but it certainly wasn't what we see at Charlotte FC games right now. Right. Now, to be fair, the ticket prices were 5 times the cost of a Charlotte FC ticket price. Yeah. But ticket sales for that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because they are opening the upper deck for this next one.
They are on the 9th. It's
Yeah.
on the 9th, right? Nashville is like the Americana night. So I don't know anything yet, Wesley. I haven't heard anything other than they're going to open the upper deck. I don't think they're going to open it up like they did against LA. I think it's
going to be sections.
Yeah, it's going to be controlled. So,
and my understanding is tickets start at $20. And again, this is just my understanding. I could be completely lying to everyone. Tickets start at $20, and that's just they go a little bit up from there.
Yeah.
That's to say, I think that they're having the block party ahead of it, like the whole where we always set up in front of the LED entrance.
Yeah.
Sure, they're having. I saw something like, starting at 4:00, whatever. They're having some big block party and inflatables for the kids and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. That's gonna be fun. But I guess we're over here. We got Montreal's that big thing. I think, JT, are we going to do a live watch along, man? I can't remember if we agreed on that or not.
Montreal, I think so. I really enjoy those. I really enjoy it. It's just fun because, again, for the fans, by the fans, damn it. The idea that, we are watching together with modern technology, although we still got to get, depending on who's watching where and timing and everything. And, I was 8 seconds ahead last time. And like, JT, don't make any reaction. Even when
don't show anything.
Even when I went stone face, I was kind of making a reaction. Oh shit, JT's not doing anything. What's going on? But the idea of being able to comment live and just go back and forth with people out there, and we had a good showing. A lot of people have shown up. So I say we do it, man. Let's watch it again. Let's do it. Woo, woo, run it back.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, Logan.
Lee, I got a question for you, if you don't mind. And that's because this is a pair of questions that we've gotten, and the best we can do is sort of nod our heads at it and speculate, right? But it's always good to get
hold on, you got a drink.
Oh yeah, it's always good to get other experts involved. 2 questions for you. 1, where has Anton Walkes been all season, and why hasn't he been on the field?
Okay.
And 2, one of the questions we've gotten most is when we went and played Seattle. Do you know, or do you have any idea whether MAR kind of knew his time was up and kind of just let the team go, or whether he had, maybe had been told you have to pull a result out here or you're gone? Because we clearly shifted the way we played in Seattle.
Yeah.
And I've had so many people come up to me and ask now, 1, was Anton Walkes just on Mars, and that's why MAR never played him? I mean, there were times he never made the bench.
So I'm trying to there was so much information going around when Mars was let go, right?
Yeah.
Some of it was rumors, some of it was legit, and I'm just feel like my old brain is kind of letting it all merge together. So my understanding, well, obviously Walkes was hurt at some point too, right? So he had a little injury that was kind of.
I think he had a little one, but it certainly wasn't all season long.
No. But so, like Gilmore's saying here, Michael is saying, right? He confronted Mars in Charleston, and and basically they went at it apparently, and that kind of obviously upset Miggy, and that's probably the main reason why we wasn't seeing a lot of walks. Now, with the gaffer in now, right? He's obviously putting his arm around a lot of these players, saying, "We love you. You guys are talented. Let's do this," right? And I think the opportunity with Fuchs being injured too, is and how shit McCoon's been playing, right?
That's a polite way to put it.
Yeah, right. So I mean, that to me, is the many reasons why we haven't seen a lot of walks.
I think the best thing I can say here is I think it's probably time for Christian McCoon to go on loan, especially with the development of walks back into the squad. I think he's going to make a lot of mistakes that, politely spoken, Charlotte can't afford.
Well, I mean, one day be a great defender, getting more playing time now under
Sovicinski.
Yeah. So, there's that. And to answer your question about the Seattle game, I don't know I don't know if I feel like if he knew he was gone, but he definitely, there was some rumors that after a loss, Miggy wouldn't address the players. He would just kind of let them sit in there and do his thing, and they would never talk about the loss or, the game or the play of the game and that sort of thing. So, I feel like he definitely lost the locker room, right? I mean, we heard that when Fuchs came out and started talking about it. And, to say he knew he was going, I don't know. I mean, I think Vaughn said it, which was funny. We call it like Memorial Day. Go ahead, JT.
I was just going to say, because I remember hearing that, from many sources at the end of the game in Seattle, he didn't address the team at all, but he, went into like the coach's office, whatever they have for the away team at the stadium, and like shut the door. It's one thing not to not to go, but like, you're walking through the hallway of the backside of these, places. The players all go in the locker room and they're starting to change or whatever, and he goes straight into the office and shuts the door. It's like, and the question is, to the point Logan is asking about, is did he do that at all the away losses? And if he didn't do that at all the away losses, then I would suspect that he knew the end, that especially after the way, losing that game, that was it.
No, my understanding,
that sounds like a man who knew.
Yeah, my understanding is when we lost, that was kind of
that was kind of the end. Yeah,
that even not just the Seattle game, just anytime we lost, like he just wouldn't address the players. Like they just kind of were left alone to kind of just sit there for a while. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that would be the time that you would want to put your arm around the players. I mean, especially that Seattle game, because I feel like we had a chance to win that. I think we played well. I mean, the result obviously didn't go our way, but I still think we were definitely on point to win that. If nothing else, at least get a draw out of that, So I don't know.
And apologies from my side if you guys get some explosions in the background. The Knight Stadium is doing their fireworks, so.
Nice. Yeah, we're talking about you getting some live action.
No, we don't.
I'm just gonna turn the camera to the fireworks for you all.
Well, most people know where that stadium is because it's so close to B of A. So we can just kind of experience it through you, Logan. Thank you.
So we'll be doing this giveaway here shortly, and I'm only seeing 19 folks entered, and there's a lot more that's actually viewing. So if you want to enter and win the Bronico picture that Adam has been so kind to give us, hit hashtag Bronico in the chat. So yeah, man, I mean, so like I said, I think it's going to be a 2-2 this weekend, man, and it'll be really it's going to be interesting. They may even be there for the taking, but we'll see.
So I mean, another question I have for you, because we talked about this earlier on the podcast, we will have our regular Wednesday podcast coming out alongside of this for the listeners if you want to go and check that out. But we talked about the winners and losers of, Latanzio coming in and who sort of gets the call up. Obviously, Anton Walk's a huge winner, right? The other one that we have to talk about is Harrison Awful, who comes in. And my opinion of Harrison Awful is good, but it's kind of with a shoulder shrug, like good. I feel like you always get a 6.5 out of 10 from Harrison Awful. I feel like I've never once looked at him and gone, that guy's going to break open a game. And I've never once looked at him and gone, there's a liability there, right?
No, I mean, he's old too, right? I mean, he's like
He's
35 now, so he
Mhm.
doesn't have the legs that he used to. And I think, the opinion is that him and Lindsay was set to kind of just swap places,
Yeah.
right? I guess it just really depends on how they set up.
Well, that was kind of one of the questions that I have is, what happened to Jalen Lindsay? I mean, I do think Lindsay is a little bit more runs real hot or a little colder, but I don't feel like Jalen Lindsay ever gave us a 2 or a 3 out of 10. Maybe once he gave us like a 4.5.
Yeah.
But he also occasionally produced 9.5s, right? He also occasionally lit the field up. So these last couple games, you have any ideas of what's gone on with Jalen Lindsay, or whether it's just time for Harrison Awful to get some minutes?
My thought would just be that, well, I think Jalen kind of got hurt at some point too, right? I can't remember. Anyways, I think Jalen is great on a one-on-one situation. I think he can really handle that. He stops a lot of those crosses coming in. I think the weak point of his game is just going forward. To me, at least, he seems to kind of get lost at the top of the pitch, where Awful is pretty good at whipping in some crosses and that sort of thing. And, again, it also, I don't know, man. It just really depends on how the game set up and how Latanzi wants to play versus how the Mars wanted to play, right? I mean, does he, he kind of brings those wing backs in a little bit too, right, to make it more narrow. And
the inverted wing back.
Yeah. So that would be the reason I could think of why Lindsay isn't starting over Awful, but I kind of hope he gets the nod this week.
20. Let me get it right. 24. Every once in a while, I like just to show the picture.
There it is.
24 or is it going to be 25? I don't know.
That's it. All right, guys. So unless you got any questions out there in the chats there that you want us to touch on, we can definitely go ahead.
Didn't something come out and people out there help me remember just about the MLS awards, the All-Star or whatever?
Yeah, the All-Star.
Oh yeah, you can vote.
You can go vote. So you go to MLS.com or MLSsoccer.com and go vote. Go get our Charlotte boys up. That's for sure.
Yep.
So, what is this?
Cantanasio?
Cantanasio?
Yeah.
I'm a little confused about that, but I'm going to say, hell yeah, we're going to see some more.
Yeah, that's it. And I agree with Wesley. I think Miguel kind of like Lindsay, and the gaffer doesn't see him as valuable. Yeah. Lindsay, right? And the summer, I mean, I think we kind of – this is interesting to me because it's like, as Walks is kind of stepping up into play, like we can also use Fuchs more as a left back, but then Mora is definitely playing. He's been playing really well. So, it's interesting to see. So if anything, I think we would definitely look for like a young offensive midfielder of sorts, right? That's going to come in. So we'll see. What do you think, Logan?
I'll be really honest with you. I think the position that's going to get addressed will be left back. My reasoning for this is I think Christian Fuchs is shortly to become a coach. Who knows? Maybe a coach for Charlotte FC. But I think that his role in the team is going to be leadership, and it's going to be a talisman on the field, but maybe not the ever present coming up shortly. I think that's going to get handed off to some of the younger guys. And Joseph Mora is not young either. I believe he's 29, 28. Right. I think that the way this team, especially currently with Latanzio, who I view as more of a one-on-one coach than a, like widespread manager. He's kind of one of the people who wants to work with the players individually from what we got. I think the way this team grows is they're going to look for young talent, people like Kerwin Vargas. I think that was a very clear signing of what this team wants to do. And they're going to bring in players they think are reliable, like Andrei Shinyashinki. And then they're going to have those young guys understudy them. I mean, this is not new to anybody. But I think that there's only so long you can look at the future and say, hey, Christian Fuchs is going to be a part of a rotational back three, assuming Anton Walkes sits, or assuming Anton Walkes stays.
Fuchs is already getting his certifications, right, to be able to
be a coach
and that sort of thing. So, I could see him staying here, especially since his family's in New York, right? And and plus, I think we only signed him for a year with a 1-year option, so there's always that too, right? So it'll definitely be interesting. So,
but I think left back could become trouble really quick without somebody else there.
Yeah, Adam got hurt, right? Armour got hurt. He was starting to get a little more playing time, was starting to show, and obviously he scored the first goal ever for us, right? Other than the one that was offside in DC. And I think we'll have a good turnout next Thursday night, man. I think it being a night game, our first week game too, right? I think we'll have a decent showing.
Yeah, summertime. And a Thursday night, Thursday night just kind of traditionally feels like it'd be different. Wednesday night's a little different, but Thursday night feels like, all right, let's start the weekend early. And I would believe like hooligans coming down from Triad and other people coming from, up from Columbia and stuff like that. They might just take Friday off and make a real fun night of it.
Well, I got Friday off, but that's only because I got to go talk to immigration. So then the next morning to see if they're going to let me stay.
They're going to let you stay. They're going to take you away, Lee.
That's it. So if you don't see me after the Austin game, I was sent back home to England, and I'm just going to enjoy the summer there, apparently. So, yeah, we'll see what's happening.
We hope.
What's that?
I was going to say, you do everything remote. Like, you'll still be as involved as you can. I'll FaceTime the games. I'll have my phone at the game and support a section.
Yeah.
You have to do us a favor and get the exact same background setup in England, though. Don't make it look like nothing has changed for the continuity of the program.
One little piece of ivy or something that's like, like a teapot or something that's very English. It's like, oh, shit, he is in England.
He's trying to get deported again.
Yeah, I was trying to get a free flight back. That's all, that family I have to see. And
I was gonna say it's gonna be a boat ride. You're not gonna get a free flight. Come on.
That's it. And Heidi, me and you are gonna argue about this offline. I can call him whatever the hell I want. Damn it. So, yeah, man. This is the kind of shit we always get, right? No, we can't drag it out for another hour, Wesley. Unfortunately, we'll lose everybody's attention span. I've learned that 60 minutes is about as good as we get before everybody starts dropping off, unless we're giving away free stuff for sure. But yeah, I'm excited for the So with that being said, this is your last chance to enter in for the Bronico giveaway. So hashtag Bronico if you want to, if you would like to enter.
Show Adam's great work again.
Yeah, I'm going to. Hold on. Let me get this set up first.
In the intro video, Adam and his lovely lady are there, saying "for the crown" and everything like that. And just in case you want to know who Adam is, and thank you so much, Adam. Yeah.
So that's the Bronico.
Let yourself go. You all know it's Bronico.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So. All right, I think we've given everybody enough time. So
do it.
All right. Hold on a second. What the hell? You just here for the giveaway? You better at least hit the sub button for us. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. So anyways, with that being said, here goes the drawing.
Oh yeah. I'm hoping for department.
All right, Joshua, man, congratulations. If you reach out to us on the socials that you follow us on, we would definitely get you that picture of Bronico. Congratulations. And the Austin folks, that we were gonna next week we plan on having the Austin Fan TV boys on with us. So there's gonna be a lot of banter and just shit talking next week. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Those guys are a lot of fun.
Great.
And there's kind of that rivalry, in my opinion, with Austin since we kind of were supposed to join the league together. So, there's all that stuff. So, man, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to having the Austin boys on. And Joshua, man, like I said, just reach out to us, Facebook, wherever, or you can hit up Defend the Queen. That's Adam's handle on Twitter. And, so that's it. So with that being said, JT, Logan, why don't you tell us, man, how people can find you and what you guys got going on and that stuff?
Oh, yeah, thank you. So as mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, or in the beginning of the Fan TV, I run the Crowncast podcast. Myself and a buddy of mine, Justin, on Wednesdays, we do a little bit deeper dive for those people who want to get in the weeds. And because I'm very fortunate and I live right next to the stadium, I watch the games and I come right back here afterwards, however excited or sad or whatever I am. And I have learned to maintain my drinking to make sure that I'm intelligible. And we do post reacts. So we give out crowns to players who we felt really did well, and we give out cards to players who we felt maybe could have done better in that match. And you can find us on Instagram at _crown_cast. And like we said earlier, I have this right here. I'll show it off for a second.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
We just got to interview Bronico. We got to bring him into the professional studios. We got picked up by the Queen City Podcast Network as their coverage of Charlotte FC. Nice. So you can go and you can listen to that interview where you will find out what he eats for breakfast, the really important stuff. And if you hear that, you'll find out how to enter to win that bag. And Lee, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, man, anytime. And we give Top Ben 90 some grief since he had a late dinner appointment apparently. So whatever, man. And yeah. Anyways, and you can find us at CLTFC Fan TV. All we ask is that you hit the subscribe button for us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Insta, and all that fun stuff. JT, man, you have anything to say? Saturday, come hang out with us while we do the
hang out. I got to figure out a setup at my parents' house, but I think it'll work out. And let's go CLTFC.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So with that being said, man, y'all have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you out and about. Take care.